Here it is. Just remove this lens cover, and we'll reveal a light bulb from over 70 years ago. What a pity, though, the tungsten filament inside has long since broken, rendering this bulb unusable. Now, this petite and charming device is the star of this episode's restoration project by our repair guru, Fabric's Brother FA, a German press-style flashlight from the 1950s. After cracking open the casing, we get a glimpse at the heart of this flashlight, a press-type power generator, its core mechanism. Even with a spritz of lubricant, the press mechanism still refuses to budge. Looks like it's completely seized up by rust. We've tackled hand-cranked flashlights like this before. Besides the press style, there are also rotary ones. Their magic lies in electromagnetic induction. Inside the motor, there's a permanent magnet and a coiled rotor. When you press the lever, the rotor spins, slicing through the magnetic field lines and generating an electric current. For those who studied middle school physics, this concept is a breeze to grasp. With the underlying logic clear, Brother FA finishes the full disassembly. Next up, it's time to strip the paint and rust off the casing with sandblasting. And for this job, the blasting material of choice is white corundum. After the sandblasting, you can see the bare steel casing riddled with pits and scars left by rust. No worries, though, our Brother FA dives in with cold welding paste to patch up the casing with care. The biggest difference between cold welding paste and regular fillers lies in the strength of the cured material. Why's that? It all comes down to the filler itself. Ordinary fillers often use things like calcium carbonate or talc, but cold welding paste, that's packed with steel, aluminum, or copper powder. This choice of filler gives cold welding paste the toughness to withstand serious machining after it dries, like drilling or grinding, without breaking a sweat. Of course, the resin used for bonding plays a role too. Cold welding paste typically relies on a two-component epoxy resin for that extra durability. Once those pits are filled in, Brother FA coats the casing with a protective acrylic rust-proof primer. And finally, the crucial step that makes all the difference for that flawless finish, sanding down the primer with precision. When it comes to the top coat, Brother FA enthusiastically picks a blue shade that's a near-perfect match for the casing's original color, bringing that vintage vibe back to life. To make the final finish truly shine, Brother FA gives the top coat a meticulous polishing, ensuring it looks absolutely spectacular. Here's the final finish. How does everyone think it looks? Absolutely stunning, right? Next up, it's time to tackle the drive flywheel. Give it a shake, and you can hear something rattling inside. Pop open the clasp, and voila! Inside, there's a clever little one-way clutch. The clutch wheel and inner ring form an eccentric groove, with a steel ball that acts as a one-way lock. When you press the handle, the steel ball locks in, driving the flywheel to spin. Release it, and the ball frees up, letting the flywheel keep spinning on its own momentum. Talk about a brilliantly simple design. With that sorted, Brother FA dives in, using ultrasonic cleaning to get most of the internal parts sparkling clean. He also reassembles the drive flywheel that was taken apart earlier. As for those stubborn stains and rust that won't budge, a good old-fashioned physical polishing does the trick. And this bottle of phosphoric acid, it's the secret weapon for tackling those tiny parts that are a pain to polish, like these small screws and nuts, giving them a thorough chemical rust removal treatment. After the rust removal is done, Brother FA, with his knack for clever solutions, whips up a nifty little jig to make the next steps of organizing and assembling a breeze. Once everything's neatly organized, as per tradition, Brother FA dives into a round of meticulous polishing to make it all gleam with perfection. With all that polishing done, a dazzling nickel-plated protective coating is an absolute must to keep that shine locked in. Next up is the other half of the motor module, where the parts are held together by hollow rivets. Brother FA, likely because he didn't have the right size rivets on hand, decides not to fully disassemble it and instead jumps straight into tackling it as is. After a thorough cleaning with isopropyl alcohol, the press mechanism is finally moving smoothly again. As for the rust on the press plate, Brother FA, true to form, reaches for phosphoric acid to work its rust-busting magic. Once the rust removal is complete, it's time for the next steps, a careful polishing and a protective nickel plating to make everything shine. As for the markings on the press handle, they indicate the motor's output, 3.5 volts and 70 milliamps. And the power? For those who breezed through middle school math, it's an easy calculation, a cool 0.25 watts. Finally, the reflector gets the full treatment, sanded, polished, and coated with a gleaming nickel plating. With all the parts now prepped and ready, it's time to dive into the final assembly stage. This assembly is, as always, best described with those 6 words: hand-eye coordination makes it simple. After all, the trickiest motor section was only half disassembled, keeping things straightforward. Top it off with a new bulb and a protective chip, and voila! This once-abandoned German AIA-style flashlight from the 1950s is officially restored to its former glory. Let's take a moment to compare the before and after. What a transformation! And that wraps up this episode's restoration journey. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. The joyful and beloved W5 is signing off. A huge thank you for joining us in Max's restoration world. See you next time. Bye bye.